And welcome back to the usual, and today we're flying out the P-51H at 6.3, which is arguably the best prop in the game. That's some of the best climb rate, some of the best top speeds, it's pretty damn maneuverable, and I guess the guns aren't the best, but there's still 650 cals, which are definitely no slouch, especially with the A&M trees not being as great as they once were. Before we get started today with the actual vehicle, thank you to all my patrons and everyone looking to buy anything from the Gaijin store. If you do it with my discount code down below, you get a 3% off, as well as this absolutely abomination of a decal. So, what is the P-51H like? Well, to be honest, versus all the props, this thing is basically free. It's extremely powerful and you will outdo anyone you face or any prop you face in at least one category, very often two, and pretty often even all three. The categories being speed, acceleration / climb, as well as maneuverability. Yak 3P, for the guy that keeps asking for a Yak 3P video, there you have it, it's in the video, I clearly covered it. It's a Yak 3 with more 20 mils, it's really not that special. And the Yak 9P, well, it's just shit, why would I cover it? La-9 is gonna be dropping on us, and we do have a performance advantage here, but he does have quite a bit of altitude. And he is going to be getting R6. And I was going to let this guy on R6, mostly for the sake of content. We are completely alone, I'm going to get a dogfight, and I have the advantage. So as long as I play my cards right, even though he is on R6 and I am pretty careful, we should be completely okay. We go under him, but still going 600. Waiting for this guy to actually take an approach or a shot on us, and he does so. He delays a little bit, turns back on us a little bit later, and that's the right thing to do for him. He needs to play this carefully because the P-51H is beyond bullshit. So he dodges guns, he doesn't have to lead anyone near because, well, the guns are piss slow. And I force rolling scissors. Why? Because I'm just trying to get behind this guy. I will be losing a little bit less speed than this guy and I need to be slower to make him overshoot. But the plane's performance is so good that it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna just be staying out of his guns. So I'm using the flaps here to stay inside of his turning circle while also trying to slow down. But I'm also trying to not lose too much energy to the point where I start stalling out and he starts gaining a lot of position. He's about to overshoot here. He does a pretty decent turn here to the outside, trying to maintain his positioning on me. But he's also giving us a lot of room to actually do something. So we drop the flaps again. We go up over his nose and we should be able to just kind of fall on top of him and able to get some shots in. We do exactly that. He gets a crit in, and now the crit is actually going to work in his favor in a certain manner. He is hanging on R6, the La-9 is still pretty dangerous if it's on your 6. But he's going to be losing so much speed now because of his crit wing that we're going to struggle making him overshoot again. We did get the shots in. I tried to tell my team to leave me alone because I got it. I know I'm not entitled to the kill. I press one of my buttons, I press my full real controls and I sacrifice a lot of position yet again. So now I need to do it all over again. But it might be a little bit harder to overshoot him. Make him overshoot, I mean. Also, he's going to be stalling out very easily. So right now it looks like he's still on R6. But now he is so low on energy that he can't go up anymore. So I cut throttle, I slot in on his 6. And he actually takes a pretty good counter-offensive here. He goes over our nose. But at the end of the day, he is crit, and I'm in the P-51H, so he ends up going down. We set him on fire, and that's all she wrote for the La-9. He's not going to be doing very well, so we're just going to put a nose on him and try to put him down. But unfortunately, we actually miss our shot. But it doesn't really matter, because he is going to have a pretty terrible time nonetheless. I'm just trying to stay out of his guns. There's no real science to this. He's burning up, he is crit all over. And there's really not much this guy is going to be doing. Donye 335 is coming in. And I want to make sure that he doesn't get a shot on us either. He almost does. Very close stuff here. But I managed to stay out of his guns. We go a little bit defensive. He's on fire. He has two guys riding his dick. And all we need to do is again make sure that we stay out of their guns. He's on fire. He's a firefighter, so he knows what to do. And he slams it into the water. Pretty effective because he's clearly not burning anymore. And here we are, a game against jets. It's really just waiting for opportunities, diving on opportunities and grabbing opportunities with both your hands, like your uncle taught you to when you were younger behind the shed. And on a completely unrelated note, look at the J21 on the bottom. Yes, that's called Soggy Comrade. Thank you very much for picking that name, and thank you Gaijin for not actually renaming him. So we dive in here. FATF is low and slow. We're gonna go for him first. We take him down real easily and we dip the area. Meteor behind us does actually pose a threat in a dogfight in this thing, but we have so much energy, we don't need to worry about it. So we go up, we loop on over, we use the web kind of sparingly, but at this point we're on the deck with a lot of jets. And it's the same thing as with the G56 that I made a video on, I think it was last week, where dealing with jets it's kind of just opportunistic. Which ones do you go for? Most of the time you go for the ones that are the easiest to kill, or the one that's going to be the biggest threat in the long run. FATF on R6, J21 ahead of us, he's not really the main threat here, so I'm just going to shoot some rounds at him and then go defensive again with the F8F. We merge, we go under him, we force the dogfight, which is a fight that we are going to be winning, but he just switched targets here as well, and he's going to go for my squad mate. Look to the left, look to the right, who do I go for? Well, if I break off right now, I'm going to get this FATF on R6, and he is going to be spraying at us, so I'd rather just keep some pressure on him. The F3D goes for him, and now there's a MiG-9 still, as well as the J21. And the F8F here, he is kind of annoying. The guns are still pretty scary, they can one-shot you still. They're pretty easy to use, a shitload of ammo. And all in all, you just kind of want to be dangerous around it. The MiG-9, however, is a little bit of the opposite. I'm not really too worried about it hitting me or killing me. It's just that it's going to pressure me very slow, very fast, if he gets left alone. We set him on fire, he burns up real nicely. We go under the F8F, he doesn't have a working rudder. So all we do now is basically stick the merge. Keep an eye on the J21 if he doesn't want to switch to us. He does so we instantly break off. Luckily, the F3D then digs down the F8F1. And we just put it into a little bit of a climb. The J21 then keeps going for us, or for the airfield. I'm not too sure where he is going, but I want to put the pressure on him right now, just as the background announcer actually says. And keep this guy as slow as possible. Right now, I'm going to be going quicker than him. I don't need to take the head on. I'm going to merge with him. And all I need to do now is make sure that I stay within range so he can't get away from us. He notices that he's not getting away from us, and he goes up into the vertical in our dogfight. Soggy Comrade here is going to be losing the dogfight. He is not going to be winning the vertical against this thing. So he tries to do what the jets should do, and he tries to run away. Unfortunately, the white stuff below him is calling him, and he flies right into the cum zone. Thank you very much for coming into the game, and you will definitely be remembered forever. Who do we go for next? Well, it depends on who is going to be engaging us. And as you can tell, there is a J21 on the runway, and he is going to be taking over the second. The issue here really is, look at the tickets. Once I open the scoreboard, it will reveal to you that it's about 970, which means it needs to tick down 10 times. There is also no player interaction here, and I just want you to take a look on it. How quickly and how annoyingly it just drops to 0. It's ridiculous. Right now, the main issue is not here that I'm gonna be winning or that I'm losing. The issue is that it stops the game in its tracks. I would really like it if the tickets wouldn't end matches prematurely. Of course, if there's someone camping the airfield or if there's someone in absolute orbit, I understand it. But the tickets going down by like, I think it's 20 to 30%. Oh, it's about 20%, maybe 15. Let's say 15-20% in less than a minute is absolutely, painstakingly a pain in the butt. Take one more quick look at what he is going to be flying, or if he's very used to what he's playing, or if he's actually an RB player in general, and he is not. The A21 is on this front page, so he does have a little bit of an idea, and the tickets just keep dropping and dropping. This is at the 10-minute mark. And again, not the main issue here that we win or lose. That's not the thing here. The fact that at 10 minutes in, the tickets start dropping this fast, without any warning, without any indication, and it just starts happening. Now if we fail, look at it. Just 200 to 250 tickets just vanished out of nowhere. So I'm gonna be forcing this fight as fast as possible because I don't want this to end on tickets. We go for the merge. Tickets go down again. We go up, boom, it's gone. We were 100% going to be winning that fight. We were winning that game. That's not the issue. Imagine playing a game like football. Your opponent scores 2 or 3 goals in the first 30 minutes. If the game is full, you gotta keep playing until the 90-minute mark, and if you equalize it, you get some extension, whatever. Imagine if they scored 2 goals and the game just ends because they reached their quota, maybe 3 goals. I think it's stupid, but I'm not gonna be going over that for too much longer. Let's take a look at the last and full game, which is gonna include 7 of them. It's going to be the first till the last kills of this match. And the main question you need to ask yourself when you fly a vehicle like this, especially with the limited web, especially when there's jets involved, it's a little bit of where do you come from, where do you go, and most importantly, GoldenEye Joe. There's a Spitfire below us, and he is kind of annoying to deal with in the long run. He's decently quick. He doesn't have the best retention, but he does turn better than us, and I just want to deal with him right now. He is alone, he's not very quick. I thought I had killed him with that second burst, so I kind of pulled off, and he's now just stalling in our guns. He's definitely he's messed up. He is not going to be combat worthy anymore, but he is still in the air. He's susceptible to being stolen or making it back to the airfield. Neither of which I particularly enjoy. So the Spitfire here is trying to spiral away from us. He just keeps getting hit more and more. He's just rolling around. He's too slow, however. He's too badly damaged, and he is going to be eating the dust. The Yak-3U below us, one of the planes that actually gives us a little bit of a run for our money, but we have so much energy here that it doesn't really matter. We pull behind him. I don't think he even notices us, and we just pull behind him. We're just going to pitch up at him. We turn the weapon, and he's going to be giving us a pretty easy time here by simply flying straight ahead of us. He gets crit. He then turns back into our guns, and we just set him on fire. Make sure we don't fly through his guns after disengaging. But he should be burning up, and if he doesn't, he is not going to be doing very well. The J7W, not a threat, going to be mainly ignored. N1K, same deal really, except he still turns pretty well. He has the ability to kind of pitch up for us and spray us down, whereas the J7, it doesn't have the ability to pitch up, it only has the ability to spray at you. But if you position yourself properly, it should never really get shots on you, unless of course you get completely overwhelmed. He doesn't really pay attention to us. We pull in behind him. He gets damaged a little bit. Surprised he hasn't turned into a frisbee yet, but I'm just gonna try to pull in behind him. I then notice his Yak 15P. I break off. Squad mate gets dicked on by the 30 mils, and we now try to go back for this dude, but he's staying below us, and this is why staying below people in defensive manners is so important, because we have to roll around completely. And by the time I get back on him, he almost killed my teammate again. So we set him on fire, make sure we don't fly in his guns, and the Yak 15, he's gonna crash. We don't get the kill for it, which is unfortunate, but I just go and finish off the J7W. And now we have a Key 84, as well as an F4U7, I think it is, coming in from their airfield, which is fightable, it is doable. However, we are not very high right now, and they are coming in with a bit of an altitude advantage. The F2G, however, decides it's a good idea to go for them in the situation he is in right now. Below the Key 84, equal altitude with the F4U, and we are just going to be climbing away from them for a little bit, because if the F2G gets tangled into a fight, the Key 84 as well as the F4U are going to be decently slow. Why? Because he is going to be burning them of their energy. We now have some energy, we have some altitude, and we are going to come back into that fight. I did notice a spot that just happened behind us, and the F2G then goes down. The F4U is a little bit closer, and he's already pointing at us. And the Key 84 is further away, and he's going quite a bit slower, I think. So what do I want to do? First of all, go head on with the F4U. We break off. We actually kill him in the head on, which is perfect, because he didn't break off. Pilot unconscious as well as a fire. And then we merge with the Key 84H. And we have plenty of excess speed here, and all I need to do is make sure that I don't stall out in front of him. So I'm waiting for him to stall out, and until then I'll keep this fight relatively quick until he starts dropping his nose. We then roll over, we predict his flight path, and we simply fall directly on top of him. Completely okay. Using the flaps here, he's very, very slow, and I'm just gonna hold the trigger down. We crit him, he gets killed pretty quickly, or dealt with pretty quickly. He's not actually dead yet, but right now I just need to make sure that this guy actually dies, so that I can 1v1 this Tempest properly. And really there is no issue. The issue is that I'm low on ammo and I need to deal with the Tempest as well as the P-84 that just refuses to die every time I get shots on him. So we turn back in here and I need to take care of this dude. I can deal with the Tempest all day long. Really not an issue. The P-84 here in the 2v1 scenario is the main killer, but he just doesn't want to die. And the Tempest behind us is really a non-issue. We are gonna be faster than him. It's only a Tempest Mark V. And this guy just doesn't die. He finally does. We only have 150 rounds left because of that. And what do? Well, I'm waiting for this Tempest to start closing in a little bit. I'm gonna go sideways and then I will take the dogfight with this guy gladly. We go 500, we dodge his shots, we merge, we go vertical, and then it's hello Mr. P-84. And I can deal with the Tempest quite reliably. If anything, if that other P-84 had died when I shot him, then this guy would have been dead already. But he breaks off and he's flying towards his teammate, and I'm not going to be taking that. I'm going to be running away. And guess what? We are on the middle of the map, which means mid-map AA. What a fantastic feature. I absolutely despise this stuff. Why is it a thing still? Whatever. One of the benefits of this vehicle is its damage model. I'll put a picture on the screen right there, right here. It's a screenshot, it's very old. But I want you to look at my speed and my engine. And believe it or not, I was still accelerating. I topped out at about 603 kilometers an hour before I had to brake and land. I was actually still slowly accelerating. And that's the same speed as a K4 basically, with that kind of damage. Drag damage as well as the engine. Now we have an 84 in that team and he has about 5,000 kills in the damn thing. So he's probably going to be completely okay with that. And he's just going to be pushing head-ons. Kind of like he should. I mean, he's in an 84. He's not going to be out dogfighting something like the P-84. The Tempest maybe. He will be able to turn into him and maybe spray him down. But he doesn't need to, because he just wins the head-on. Tempest goes down and now he switches targets to the P-84. And the P-84 is not that quick. At least not in this scenario. You can just dive on him. He's already damaged. He's already been crit. And he gets taken down just like that. And then we switch on the last person here. It's the Tempest. He just popped up. And I'm trying to get the blind hunt on the other dude. No such luck. And he's going to be flying over us. But luckily, we are still in the P-51H. It doesn't really matter how much altitude this guy has. We just took off. We have 7.5 minutes of web. And I just need to make sure that he doesn't hit us. And that sounds very simple. Luckily with this vehicle, it actually is. Because we are much quicker. And well, we turn much better. And we also climb much better. How convenient. So we make chase. Why? Normally I say don't chase the guy that's outrunning you. But I know that this guy will be caught in the long run. I'm also trying to push him away from the 84 to show you a little bit of a dogfight. But this guy might be outrunning us for now. But his performance will not allow him to maintain this. And this is why I say take risk if you are in an inferior plane. Playing it safe, playing it in the long run. If you run into a pilot that will actually use his plane's performance, you are going to be losing. I'm not going to be running after him here. I don't need to. He wasted so much energy in trying to run away from me that we are now almost equalized, and all I had to do was point my nose on him. I'm already basically at the same speed, but I see the tickets going down. I see the 84 coming in, and I just want to take this fight. So we go up over his nose, over his guns. We go into a dogfight. I'm turning in front of him. I'm going to predict his flight path. And there you go. He's playing it too safe. And he might have more energy. It doesn't matter when you simply just fly straight. You give me so much position that even if my plane is worse, I'm going to be winning that kind of engagement. He then goes into a little bit of a flat turn. We drop the flaps to get the kill in time, because the tickets are dropping very quickly. Hold the trigger down. And just before the end of the game, we send them back to the hangar. We also go back to the hangar, but that's irrelevant. I'll see you in the next one.